Brock Bowers might be the greatest rookie tight end we've ever seen. From breaking records at Georgia to immediately becoming a matchup nightmare in the NFL, Bowers isn't just redefining what it means to be a tight end. He's rewriting the rule book. He's not just a rookie standout.
Take it in for the touchdown.
And Bowers still going. Brock Bowers.
He's a weapon. The production, the versatility, the freakish athleticism, it all points to one undeniable truth. We're witnessing the rise of a generational force. But how did he get here? How did Brock Bowers go from an overlooked recruit out west to the most terrifying tight end prospect in a decade? Let's rewind. Brock Bowers almost wasn't a tight end. Growing up in Napa, California, he was the son of two former college athletes. His dad, Warren, was a former offensive lineman at Utah State. His mom, Deanna, was a softball star at the same school. With those genetics, Brock had a solid foundation for football. But early on, he played quarterback. He played linebacker. He played wide receiver. Basically, he played everything. And that was the story of his high school career. Brock Bowers could do it all. He wasn't built like the traditional tight ends at the time.
Bowers is the young tight end. Once again, it's that tight end. Brock Bowers is open.
He wasn't some 6'6", 250-pound bruiser. As a freshman, he was lean, athletic, and raw, but fast. Really fast.
And the freshman is off.
He clocked a 4.5 40-yard dash before he could even legally drive. That speed made him a nightmare mismatch. Even when the ball wasn't in his hands. He could stretch the field like a wideout, block like a fullback, and line up anywhere on the field. And coaches quickly realized this wasn't just a good athlete, this was a future star. By his junior year at Napa High, Brock had already made the transition to tight end. But calling him just a tight end didn't capture what he really did on the field. He returned kicks, he took end arounds. He even lined up at quarterback and ran wildcat. And remember, this was at a high school without national recognition. There were no ESPN cameras at Napa games, no five-star teammates, no elite 7-on-7 camps every weekend. Just Brock Bowers grinding, lifting, sprinting, and outworking everyone. One coach put it simply, he was the fastest kid on the team, the strongest kid on the team, and the hardest working kid on the team. That combination, you don't see it often. In his final 2 years of high school, Bowers put up ridiculous numbers. Over 1,400 receiving yards, 18 touchdowns, and more highlight reel plays than most entire teams. One-handed grabs, stiff arms through safeties, and breakout runs from 40 yards out. It didn't matter who they lined up across from him. He embarrassed them. Still, Brock wasn't a five-star recruit. He wasn't on every top 100 list. West Coast kids like him often get overlooked in the national spotlight. But the schools that did their homework knew what they were seeing. By his senior year, Bowers had offers from Oregon, Notre Dame, Penn State, Washington, and more. But he chose Georgia, all the way across the country, a completely different world of football. He knew the SEC would be a grind, but that's what drew him in. Brock didn't want to play where it was easy. He wanted to play where it was hard, where tight ends blocked in the trenches and scored touchdowns in the same drive.
Nothing else. Incomplete to the tight end, Bowers. A great runner after the catch.
When he committed, Georgia tight ends coach Todd Hartley told reporters, "We knew he was special the first time we saw him on tape. But when we met him, talked to him, and saw the way he worked, it wasn't just special, it was different. He's wired different." Bowers was headed to the toughest conference in college football, and nobody could have predicted what could come next.
Drive, Bowers, another. Off the edge, flags are down, might be a free play. Bowers has got it.
When Bowers arrived in Athens, he wasn't even supposed to play. He was the third-string tight end on the depth chart. Too raw, too undersized, too far from home. Coming from a small town in Northern California, Brock was thousands of miles from everything familiar. No friends, no family, just early morning lifts, grueling practices, and the overwhelming pressure of playing in the SEC as an 18-year-old freshman. The Bulldogs already had a tight end room loaded with talent. Darnell Washington was a freakish 6'7", 265 5-pound mismatch. Eric Gilbert had just transferred in, a former 5-star and one of the most coveted tight end prospects of the decade. But none of that mattered. Linebackers couldn't run with him. Corners couldn't tackle him. Safeties couldn't match his physicality. As Georgia offensive coordinator Todd Monken put it, he's got elite work ethic, elite toughness, elite intelligence. He's as reliable as any player I've ever coached. And Kirby Smart didn't hesitate. He made Bowers the guy. The true freshman exploded out of the gates. He led the Bulldogs in receiving, scoring 2 touchdowns in just his second college game. And by the end of the year, he wasn't just Georgia's best pass catcher. He was their most dangerous offensive weapon. His 2021 stat line? 882 yards, 13 touchdowns, school record after school record. And on the biggest stages, he thrived. In the SEC championship game against Alabama, Georgia's toughest opponent all year, he had 10 catches for 139 yards and a score. In the national championship rematch, with the game hanging in the balance, Stetson Bennett hit Bowers for the go-ahead touchdown. Georgia seized the momentum and never looked back. At just 19 years old, Brock Bowers helped lead Georgia to their first national championship in 41 years. But he wasn't close to done. 2022 was supposed to be his sophomore slump. Instead, it was his sophomore takeover. Georgia lost multiple offensive weapons to the NFL, and everyone expected a step back. But Bowers stepped forward, adding new elements to his game: end-arounds, reverses, even rushing touchdowns. He finished the year with 790 receiving yards, 9 touchdowns, and 3 more on the ground. He became the first tight end to ever win SEC championship game MVP, and did it in style, catching a bobbled pass midair and outrunning LSU's entire secondary for a 63-yard score. NFL scouts were calling him the best tight end prospect since Kyle Pitts, but Georgia fans knew he was even better than that. And then came the 2022 National Championship. Bowers went off. 7 catches, 152 yards, and a touchdown in 3 quarters. TCU had no answer. Georgia blew them out 65-7. Back-to-back titles, back-to-back dominance. By this point, Bowers had redefined what a tight end could be, but his junior year would show the world something even more important: his heart. In Week 7 of the 2023 season against Vanderbilt, he went down with a high ankle sprain that required tightrope surgery. Most players would have shut it down, focused on the NFL, preserved draft stock. Not Bowers. He fought to come back. Not for the Heisman, not for his resume, for his teammates. Just 26 days after surgery, he was back on the field. And in his return, he caught the game-winning touchdown to beat Auburn.
Touchdown, Georgia!
That moment told you everything you needed to know. He's got that warrior mindset, said Kirby Smart. I've never seen a player tougher. Never. Despite missing 4 games, Bowers still finished with 714 yards and 6 touchdowns. He became the only 2-time Mackey Award winner in college football history. And by the end of the year, he had 2,538 career yards, the most by a tight end in Georgia history. He left college football with 2 national championships, 3 All-American selections, 2 SEC titles, 2 Mackey Awards, and the universal respect of coaches, teammates, and opponents alike. Former NFL GM Scott Pioli put it best on NFL Network. He's not just the best tight end in his class. He's one of the best football players I've ever evaluated. The 2024 NFL Draft was a crossroads for the Las Vegas Raiders, a franchise caught in a storm of chaos and desperation. They had seen quarterbacks come and go, coaches hired and fired, and the once proud culture dissolved into a relentless cycle of dysfunction. Hope was fading fast, and then in the middle of the uncertainty, they made a bold move.
In the 2024 NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select Brock Bowers.
Not a quarterback, not a splashy trade, a tight end, a weapon. Brock Bowers wasn't brought in to save the franchise, but from the moment he stepped on the field, it was clear he was going to fight like hell to steady it. Yet the doubters were loud. Tight ends don't change franchises, they said. But as the season would prove, Brock wasn't here to play it safe or fit neatly into the system. He was here to carry a sinking ship. It was week 2 when the first signs of his brilliance blazed through. Against a tough Ravens defense, Bowers ghosted between defenders like a seasoned veteran.
Now throwing deep to Bowers at the 5. And Bowers still going. Brock Bowers.
9 catches, 98 yards. Every catch was a statement. Every yard a challenge thrown at the league's toughest linebackers. The Raiders eked out a rare 26-23 victory that night, and for the first time all year, the city caught its breath. Vegas finally had a reason to hope. Fast forward to Week 5. Denver, a hostile road environment where the Raiders were buried deep in the hole. But Brock, he refused to let the team sink without a fight. He hauled in his first NFL touchdown, a jaw-dropping 57-yard catch and run that left defenders grasping at shadows.
Bowers down the sideline, the rookie from Georgia.
8 receptions, 97 yards, and a spark that reignited a fading offense. In that moment, it was clear Brock wasn't just a piece, he was the offense. And just when it seemed like Brock's breakout might spark a turnaround, the team around him began to unravel. After a Week 6 loss to the Steelers, the Raiders shocked the football world by trading away Davante Adams, their last true superstar, the one reliable thread left in a frayed roster. The locker room trembled, yet amid this unraveling chaos, there was Brock, the rookie tight end who refused to disappear. By Week 10, in the humid, relentless heat of Miami, Brock was unstoppable. He hauled in 13 catches for 126 yards and another touchdown, repeatedly rescuing a broken offense. The Raiders lost that game, but Brock's effort was untouchable. Linebackers outpaced, safeties left in the dust. Even in defeat, he was winning. Week 12 brought a showdown against the defending Super Bowl champions, Kansas City. The pressure was immense, the stage massive, and Brock rose like a colossus. 10 catches, 140 yards, 1 touchdown. He transformed the field into his personal battleground, younger, faster, angrier than anyone expected. The dysfunction around him faded into the background. Here was a star, relentless and commanding, refusing to be held down. December's cold air brought Week 16 and a fight against Jacksonville. While many rookies faded under the weight of the grind, Brock charged forward. 11 catches, 99 yards, and the Raiders' third win of the season, a hard-fought 19-14 victory. But beyond the scoreboard, the true story was Brock inching closer to history. Mike Ditka's rookie tight end receiving record, untouched for more than 6 decades, suddenly felt within reach. Then came Week 17, the Superdome in New Orleans, a cathedral of noise and pressure. Brock stepped onto the field and carved his name into the record books. 7 catches, 77 yards. The moment he crossed the threshold, 1,194 yards receiving. The most ever by a rookie tight end. In a year darkened by defeat, dysfunction, and doubt, Brock Bowers became a blazing beacon. And even as the season wound to a close, Brock refused to ease up. Week 18 against the Chargers saw him haul in 4 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown, ending his rookie campaign with staggering numbers. 112 receptions, most by any rookie tight end ever. 1,194 yards, the new gold standard. 5 touchdowns, some of the most electrifying moments in a fractured season.
Throwing on first down to guess who? Brock Bowers down the sideline, lot of room, and Bowers shoved out of bounds by Andre Sisco.
The Raiders finished 4-13. They cycled through quarterbacks, coaches, and identities. Each change a desperate bid to find something, anything that would stick. Their offense ranked near the bottom in every meaningful metric. But Brock Bowers? He wasn't just a rookie standout. He finished second in Rookie of the Year voting, narrowly missing the top honor but making a statement loud and clear. This was only the beginning. And when the All-Pro teams were announced, Brock earned first-team All-Pro honors, named the best tight end in the entire NFL as a rookie. Amid all the wreckage, he was the revelation, a star burning fiercely in the desert night. Week after week, snap after snap, he showed up. Undeterred by chaos, unfazed by turmoil. Las Vegas may have lost the battle in 2024, but in Brock Bowers, they found a spark that could ignite a new era.
It's caught here. Bowers on the fly. Chased by Witherspoon and knocked out of bounds.
A cornerstone to build on, a symbol of hope, and the unmistakable face of the Raiders' future. In a season where everything fell apart, he was the one thing that didn't.
There's going to be moments when he goes off. They're trying to limit those. So far they have. And what a catch right there by Brock Bowers.
We've seen elite rookie seasons before. Randy Moss in 98, Odell Beckham Jr. in 14. But from a tight end? Never like this. He blocked like a tackle, ran routes like a wideout, played every down like it was his last. In a league that demands instant production, Brock Bowers didn't just deliver, he shattered every expectation. And now as the Raiders look to rebuild yet again with a new coach, a new quarterback, and a new vision, they have something they haven't had in a long time. A generational talent to build around. Travis Kelce called him the next wave. Scouts called him NFL ready the moment he left college. And now, fans are calling him something else. The future. Brock Bowers isn't just a star, he's a revolution. The rise, the records, the relentlessness, it's all the beginning of a story we'll be talking about for years. Because Bowers isn't just changing the tight end position, he's becoming the face of it. And if what we've seen so far is only the beginning, then buckle up, because the Brock Bowers era is just getting started.